Hi, how are you guys doing today? My name is Anima, and today we have a post-commentated Pokemon ORAS Wi-Fi battle for your viewing pleasure for the EXPNU, this time against Trainer Zabuza, the coach, captain, commander, elite, top member, big hot dog, small cheese, large cheese, I should say actually. The big cheese, that's the one of the Mauvile Munchlaxes. So this game is pretty... I didn't really realize it so much at the time, but this game was pretty important for us to be able to get into the playoffs and whatnot and stuff and things. So we're gonna have to, like, you know, we've got to keep our wits about us as we do this. As always, I am the coach of the Black Raltz, by the way. Massive thank you to Ellis for building this absolute beast of a team. Now I know you're looking at it and you're going, Anima, holy hell, this is just the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. Have you got your Mega Sableye, you got your Momo, you got all kinds of awful shit happening right now, and yeah, and to that I say, yeah, I'm probably Satan. We do have a very, very stally team, but looking at his team, honestly, the matchup was that stall would actually be pretty good against it. So I'm just telling you that we are going to be using stalls, so don't hate me, alright? Just getting that out of the way so no one can bitch about it, right? Because I've already warned you, you don't have to watch this. And I will try and keep it interesting with my commentary. But also thank you to everybody hanging out in the Twitch chat. Thank you so much, Buzz, for doing so many calcs. And you guys you put in so much work, all of you. You're just the best. You guys are so good. You guys are just so great. Yeah, so we've got this. We've got our absolutely ghastly Sableye. We've got our Quagsire, Florges, Alomomola, Durant, Heatran. I will put the team in the description so that you can see the stuff I'm teaming. We've got this rather nasty little Typhlosion, Braviary, Cofagrigus, Registeel, Zapdos, and a Gallade. Quite a bulky team on my opponent's side too, so anticipating the stall. With my draft as it is, stall is pretty easy to anticipate, but don't worry, we will try to be switching things up. Maybe? Did I say that? I don't know! Ha ha ha! I see you trying to fucking scout me right now. I'm talking to my future opponents who might be watching this, I don't know. Anyway, so... yes, we have this, and honestly, the overall objective here is just win, basically, yeah. Pretty much. Anyway, guys, let's hit play, and you will see precisely what I saw. So let's start things off nice and terrible. Daniel is issuing that challenge. I'm going to lead with Fart, the ultimate and absolutely despicable creature that you've ever seen. And he is going to lead with his Mega Gallade. Now, this thing doesn't want to stay in and catch a burn, and it can't really touch me because I'm a fucking Sableye. And I wore that thing to absolute holy hell. So we are going to Mega Evolve, not go for the Will-O-Wisp because the Typhlosion exists, and just go for a Fake Out to guarantee that we can Mega Evolve. Cofagrigus doesn't potentially want to get burnt either, so that's not a problem. So we're going to switch out now to Alomomola as this thing sets for Sunny Day. I wasn't actually too afraid of this because I did calc it. I know I can live a Solar Beam from full health, so that's fine, and we can slap a Toxic on this thing, so that's absolutely fine and dandy. We're okay with that, so that's good. Walter is now poisoned, but it's pretty cool that he had Solar Beam and the Sunny Day shenanigans. That is pretty damn interesting. He is going to switch out now, go into Metal Mummy, anticipating the Protect very nicely, as Despair gets a wee bit of lefties. This is nice. We need Despair nice and healthy because the nature of this kind of thing is that we really do need everybody to be really, really strong and just live and outlast his whole team. So we're going to get Toxic with Florges, unfortunately, as my opponent goes for a Snatch. Steals my Aromatherapy. Very interesting. So I can't heal my own toxins. So I'm thinking, how many times is he actually going to do this? I don't really lose anything from just staying in and going for the aromatherapy unless he's going to be completely persistent and just keep going for snatches. Now, I don't want my Florges to be too crippled because we need this thing to help us fight the Zapdos, so we are going to switch out and I'll go right into Goober, who this Cofagrigus can't really touch Goober, so it is going to piss off trying to snatch something from Goober's face. I don't bloody know. And out comes this Zapdos as we go for the rocks. So that's fantastic. We do manage to get our rocks up, force this thing to defog, which it does, and we're free to go for a Lava Plume. This is gonna be a really nice... oh my god, it's just a really nice chunk of damage right now. We don't get the burn, which is fine, and my opponent is going to go for the Volt Switch, as I believe I set up the rocks. So out comes Gallade, very, very pressuring indeed. I can't really do anything to touch this thing with Heatran, so I am going to switch out, go into Fart, who walls this thing completely. Bit risky bringing in Gallade on a potential Lava Plume, but I assume he did predict the Stealth Rock. So there's the Mega as my opponent goes for the Substitute. Still can't touch me, so a little bit early to be going for Sub in this case. We are going to go for the foul play, break the sub completely because Gallade's physical attack is absolutely astronomical, and my opponent is going to switch out now into Metal Mummy as I go for the foul play. This is going to do an okay amount of damage, but the worst part is I do lose Magic Bounce and my opponent gets Mummy. Now, I don't know if this thing has Will-O-Wisp at this stage, so I am going to switch out, go into my Gooby Goo as my opponent goes for the Toxic Spikes. So very nice for him, having gotten rid of my Magic Bounce, going for the Toxic Spikes. He's definitely prepared for a stall team indeed. So we go for the Lava Plume, managed to get a burn. Heatran putting in an alarming amount of work right now, and he does steal my Flash Fire, rendering him immune to my Lava Plume. So this is kind of okay, but this Cofagrigus is kind of being really, really tricky. It's actually complete taunt bait, but in this case, it's able to be quite useful. Well, after stealing the Flash Fire, it was... yeah, it couldn't really do anything from there. I was maybe thinking it might have had Pain Split, but it already showed us all its moves. So out comes Walter, and I literally recalled Frickett telling me, be sure to scout for Earthquake from the Typhlosion before you stay in. I literally remembered that as I made my move, which really, really sucked. So losing Heatran is going to put me behind, and my opponent is going to get spooked out by Clicker because Clicker does outspeed, allowing us to get up a substitute. So out comes Registeel. I don't know if this is going to be some kind of hidden power fire jank, so I am going to baton pass this thing, go into Fart in case he sets up rocks. We can bounce those away and that'll be fine. So the rocks are going to bounce back. It's going to be completely okay. He doesn't lose anything from doing that because rocks are already on his side of the field. We are first staged poisoned. We can't get 2-stage poisoned because the Toxic Spike setter is dead, so that's kind of alright. We're going to go for the foul play here just for damage. It's not going to do anything. That was more like fair play, to be honest. There was nothing foul about that. We basically tickled it right in the eyeballs. It's got about, how many of those? 7? 7? It has 7 eyeballs? Those eyeballs? I don't really know. Anyway, we do get a Willow on this thing, which is the only status we can really inflict that is particularly useful on this Registeel. And we are going to take a Flash Cannon to the face. The Flash Cannons aren't doing anything. The substitute was actually able to endure 2 of those things, which is pretty damn crazy. And we're going to get slowly whittled away by poison and burn respectively. He does manage to score a crit here, which is a bit shitty because it does prolong me having to recover and blah 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 and blah blah blah. It's like a bit of a pain in the ass, but it's okay. I don't really want to switch in Forgers, even though I think I could definitely eat one of these up because Forgers can't really do anything from there. So I'm at a bit of a stalemate right now where I can't really do much to it, which is why it's so bad that Heatran went down. That was a serious misplay not scouting for the EQ. Even though I knew it could have existed, it was just a brain fart on my behalf. It didn't catch me. It was just like my brain being completely stupid and me just, oh my god, it was very, very terrible. But kudos to him for running EQ and Solar Beam and Sunny Day. Very, very interesting indeed. So out comes Despair. And I'm just kind of going to use this opportunity to get some regenerator here, going back into Fart like a very cheeky little sumbitch that I am, as he goes for Stealth Rock. So we do manage to monopolize on that whole thing very nicely, and we can't do anything to this Registeel. It's just going to get slowly whittled away, and he doesn't want to switch anything out to a potential Willow or a Foul Play, as Typhlosion will take a bunch of damage. So yeah, we just we're just sat here doing this awful, terrible, pointless stalemate. But don't worry, it won't carry on for too much longer. We don't lose anything from this Registeel taking the damage that it's taking. It's now at half, and unless it's a rest talk set or something like that, then we're kind of completely fine. But I really doubt it is because of the Flash Cannon, strangely. I don't know why Flash Cannon, I don't know why it sort of screams like it doesn't. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to go into Durant because I realized that he can't actually do anything to me. And he's going to go for the Hidden Power. I'm not sure what that is. Definitely not fire. Maybe ice? I'm not completely sure. I don't know. Probably wasn't ice. Does steel resist ice? I don't know. Either way, we're going to go for the Iron Head to be a real shithead. Try and get some flinches, perhaps. But to be honest, we can't really do much else. All we can really do is just stay in and continue to try and attack this thing. So, yeah, that's pretty much what's occurring right now. So, he is going to withdraw Registeel, go out into the Zapdos, as I believe we went for a completely bloody inconsequential Iron Head here, which is not going to do anything. Oh no! I used my brain! Holy crap! Everyone congratulate me! After sacking Heatran terribly, I have managed to engage my brain. But you see, if I'd had Heatran for all of this, that Registeel would have been dead without any stall necessary. The Zapdos couldn't take Lava Plumes comfortably, especially with the presence of Stealth Rock, so it would have just been absolutely fantastic. It would have been brilliant. But either way, the Zapdos isn't able to break our sub, and we're free to baton pass into Venus. Durant passing around these fucking bulky as hell subs is really ridiculous. Thankfully, my opponent does me a huge favor, gets rid of these toxic spikes, so I'm able to aromatherapy this crap away now that the weird snatching Pythagoras pedophile thing is dead. So that's fantastic. I don't really want to be felt up or snatched by a ghost with 4 arms. That's probably the last thing I want. So we're going to go for the aromatherapy, and everyone is going to be fine and chill, and that's absolutely fantastic. Out comes Falcon Punch, the Braviary, and this thing is going to proceed to be a huge pain in the tits for me. I should have toxiced this thing there, but I didn't for some inane reason, thinking Moonblast was the better idea, when it actually fucking wasn't. I should have gone for the toxic, because as you can see, this thing does have Roost. So, looking at this thing, Brave Bird is a 2-hit KO when I have a lot of health. It's really quite painful, especially if it's Life Orb. It does a ton of damage. I went for a Fake Out here for no reason at all. I should have gone for a Foul Play straight off the nose. I don't know why. Fake Out's just redundant once I've Mega Evolved, so stupid. Anyway, so there's the Volt Switch. Out comes Walter. I did go for Foul Play right now, so this thing did make the risky switch of coming in, trying to catch a little Flash Fire boost. Not going to happen, and it is dead, so that's a huge, humongous threat out of the way. So here's the Brave Bird. It's going to do so much damage. And he is actually going to predict me to go for a Protect here, and goes for the Roost, when he could have killed my Alomomola here and then. We are going to go for the Scald. I was really hoping for the Burn, because that would have nerfed this thing to all holy hell, but we're not going to get lucky here. We do not succeed in getting the Burn, but to be fair, it's just a 1 in 3 chance, and banking on hacks is not smart. It was just something I could have done, but I really didn't actually expect him to go for the Roost. I thought he might attack again, so it was more like a last-ditch thing. So I unexpectedly found myself with a Alomomola. Yeah, if I'd known he was going to Roost, I probably would have gone for the Wish. So we are actually going to switch into Quagsire Matt Damon, and Matt Damon's just going to fucking die. Matt Damon appeared because, because Fricket knows how much I fear Cloister and setup, so... So Quagsire was there to just stop all of that bullshit. Well, it's not so much setup, but Cloister in general that actually scares me. Not so much setup, really. So out comes the Zapdos, who can just eat up any hit from me. Goes for the Volt Switch, and Florges is going to take that like an absolute beast. And out comes Falcon Punch once again. I don't really know if I can live a Brave Bird from this range, but regardless, he is going to go for the Roost, and I do go for the Toxic. So finally, this fucking thing can't just sit there and camp and get its health and blah-de-blah-de-blah. So that's amazing. We do have this thing on a timer. If it switches out, of course, it can reset it, but it is going to have Life Orb recoil, and it can't just sit there and be a little turd and, you know, rack up damage on everybody and heal itself. So he does predict the Protect again, not wanting to waste time. He goes into Zapdos. I predict him to predict this Protect this time, and I go for a Wish. So that's extremely, extremely nice. Despair is being absolutely awful. If you don't predict this thing correctly, it will just be a terrible pain in the ass. And we are able to heal Fart up to full after living this Volt Switch. So that's amazing. My wall for the Gallade is completely healthy now, and this thing can't spam return anymore. So it's amazing. Just really, really great. So out comes the Zapdos once again, because Falcon Punch just want to sit there and get stalled out. I go for Fake Out again. What the hell? What would you... Why? Genuinely shocked there. I don't really understand. So he's going to make a smart play there. Volt Switch out and sack the Registeel. I should have gone for the Recover. That would have been the best play. But sadly, I'm a dum-dum. So he's going to go for the Brave Bird. And this is going to put Fart at incredibly low HP. Definitely shouldn't have gone for... What? I should have just gone for Recover. That was really, really stupid. So my Gallade wall, counter, check, everything has been killed. So we're on red alert, ladies and gentlemen. So I bring in Florges. I know I can live a Poison Jab if he has it, but he has Sub and Knockoff, so I don't think he did. I knew I could live any one of his attacks and kill him with a Moonblast thanks to that Sub that he made earlier, unless he was specially defensive specifically, but it's still going to absolutely cripple him. So we're going to go for Moonblast now as my opponent brings in the Zapdos. Very interesting. This thing is definitely physically bulky and not specially bulky, because it does not take special hits well at all. So he's going to go for Hidden Power as I go for the Toxic. I think it might be HP Ground, actually. I'm not completely sure. And so we've got this thing on a timer, and essentially it will die. I didn't actually expect this, but we somehow the timer got stalled out. I really didn't expect that, but I do take a long time to make my moves, so that's kind of understandable. But first, let me get Face Cam back. Woo! Hey, good looking, what's cooking? We're back. I don't know if you can hear my canary. He's going mental. He's just singing his little heart out right now. Anyway, we did manage to stall the timer out, which is part of the reason why this is post-commed. I was getting some weird lagging as well during the live. I don't bloody understand why, and you don't really care, so yay, amazing. But yeah, no, we have this post-commentated thing, and I'm going to explain. Basically, it was like kind of a... I think we could have beaten the Zapdos and the Gallade if I just kept going for Moonblast, and inevitably the Zapdos would have slowly crumbled to Toxic, I feel. But he did have Roost, and so there could have been some strange shenanigans going on there. But regardless, that is going to count for a win for us. And yeah, so thank you so much, Daniel, for the challenge. You did play very well, and it was a cool game. It was a cool game. I gotta say, definitely a very long game. Definitely a long game. And yeah, it's actually pretty interesting. Like, I don't know, man, Pokemon is so friggin' hard, you know? Like Heatran going down was just so awful. Like, Heatran could have put in so much work. We had Flash Cannon, we had Earth Power. We could have, like, and Braviary couldn't have done shit. Although I suspect that its last move was Superpower, but that would have been able to lower its attack and defense, and oh my goodness, the amount of work we could have put in would have been phenomenal. Which is why you need to, especially in leagues, do your scouting and checking and all that stuff. You really gotta do that, otherwise you'll make a battle much harder than it needed to be for yourself. So today's question of the day, if you stuck around for this long, is what is your favorite Gluemon to use when you team build? For me, I'm gonna say it, you're all gonna know, it's the Lomomola or Hippowdon. I really like Hippowdon actually as a Gluemon because it has access to rocks and stuff, and it heals itself, and it can be bulky in both directions, up and down, out and in, and that doesn't make any sense. Lomomola is super, super cool. I hate it. I hate fighting it. I hate fighting it. But its role as like a regenerator bastard that can burn stuff, it's a very good Gluemon because it passes wishes so incredibly well. It's an amazing Pokemon for that. It can stall anything out. It can stall out your mum. Honestly, even if your mum is also a similarly gay fish with endless patience, it can stall her out too. Yeah. Just saying. But regenerator mons in general are like really fun Gluemons. But a Gluemon could be pretty much anything, as long as it fits in the team in a certain way. And I'm probably just take my usage of that term with a pinch of salt, because I don't know if it's like the correct technical. I hate it when I hit this thing and it wibbles. I don't know if that's the correct technical like term Gluemon thing. It's like you know. How I'm thinking of it is like a glue that holds your team together. So that's how I'm seeing it. I'm sorry if that's wrong, and Gluemon actually means the mon that breaks your whole entire core, because for some reason you need to include that if you're a super competitive battler. Anyway, with this win, I do believe we are actually in the playoffs. This is after getting horribly swept by a Talonflame, so good job to us. I don't know how that bloody well happened. Which makes me think, damn, if we'd actually managed to get around that Talonflame that time, we'd actually be in a fantastic position. Did you know if you protect on a natural gift, the berry actually gets used up? I didn't know that, but if I'd protected, holy shit. Anyway, so that's that. So good job on us, I think. The Black Raltz have managed to make it to the playoffs, which I didn't expect, really. And yeah, hopefully we can, you know, do some shenanigans and get some nice offensive presence in our draft. We're going to be making some movements in that regard, I think. So don't worry, we're not always going to be Lomomola and Sableye galore. Or will we? Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you soon, my friends. Bye-bye!